Hello, friend. So, I was talking to a school member, and she asked, when are we going to get a break? And she was referring to the intense astrological energy that we've been feeling all of 2026. And at first I was like, not gonna lie, not sure we really get a break in 2026. Uh, but then I thought, well, we kind of do. And actually, May and June, it is kind of a lull in terms of the astrological energy. But I want to be clear that it's not going to feel like it did back in the old days. I think a lot of us still have nostalgia for when the energy was easier, times were simpler, and also, frankly, we had uh, a little blanket of denial around us, around how the way certain things work in the world. Um, we weren't aware of just how intense horrible things are that are happening on the planet. Like we now see it more fully, more clearly. So that in itself brings a level of intensity just to everyday life. Um, and I believe we're developing the capacity to not only live with these things, but to transcend them. That this is part of what we're going through. Um, I've said for years now that the universe does not test us, we're being trained. So I think this is the process. And I was telling her that I think a lot of it is about learning to ride the waves of these turbulent times. Um, but we're still going to be riding waves. And like even the smaller ones are bigger than what we used to be. And the bigger ones are even bigger than we've ever seen. And I think with just the way the world is changing, Uranus and Gemini in particular, Pluto and Aquarius, the combination of those two things alone, that just means, yeah, we're going to have a lot of sweeping change over the next 5 to 7 years at a minimum. And we're being taught how to move with it and how to allow that change to happen on the inside. And I think that that's actually what's going to make it easier. I think that the more permission we give ourselves to grow and expand and change, like on the soul level, even on the personality level, how we process things, how we look at life. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I do this channel and the offerings I have for people, is because I want to help people in that process. And I know that it's easier for me when I focus on expanding what I experience emotionally and what I give my soul permission to grow through and move through. But briefly to touch on the astrology, May is actually a really good month to get things done because towards the end of June, the last week of June, we will be having another Mercury retrograde. That'll be basically the first 3 weeks of July. And July is also eclipse season, so who knows what changes eclipse season is going to bring. So, towards the end of June, we're going to be feeling the eclipse opener, the 2 weeks, or well, actually, the beginning of July is going to be the beginning of eclipse season, because if I remember correctly, the eclipse is in the middle of July. I don't have my calendar in front of me, so I'm not going to look up the actual date. But all of that says is that um, we have Pluto going retrograde May 6th. So that's, basically it for May in terms of major stuff. And so, and like I said, we're not going to have a retrograde until the end of June. So these next, 6 to 8 weeks, that's a really good time to lock things down, really work, really build, because I'm sure the Aries stellium, that Aries new moon, got a lot of people going. It got a lot of energy happening. People started really making things happen. If you were already working on stuff, you probably took it to the next level. And you could continue to ride that energy in May and June in particular. And I think that's the other thing to do too, that when we feel the astrological energy and we feel it happening so intensely, is to use that intensity to make our own lives more what we want to see in the world, to use that energy to give back maybe to your communities, whether that's fostering animals or, volunteering at like a soup kitchen or whatever it is for you. And also just, doing things that lift your spirit, your arts and your crafts or dancing, hanging out with your friends, good stuff. But if you have projects or things you want to accomplish in your business, or if you're growing your business, starting a business, you can use this Aries energy that we're coming off of. We're coming off of the Aries stellium, and May and June is a really good time to just really dig in, get things done, before it starts to slow down with the Mercury retrograde in July and with the eclipse in July, that eclipse in Leo. And just intuitively, I feel like it's probably going to be a pretty intense one, the eclipse season in July, August. So this is the time to kind of ride the waters being a little calmer. But like I said, we're probably going to still have some moments of intensity. And I think that's just going to be the name of the game for the rest of 2026 and pretty much really till about 2030, 2032. But don't panic. It's all about being prepared, not scared. Um, and at the end of the day, know that whatever challenges that are coming to you, there's always an answer. There's always a solution. Source is always going to give you a way to move through something, and to believe that you have the resources to persevere, that you have them internally and you have access to external resources as well, which is what's great about all of these things on social media and, all these great modalities out there. So, pace yourself, uh, take care of yourself, do the somatic work, the healing work, body work, therapy, working with life coaches or spiritual mentors like myself. And, make time to play. Play is a really big part of moving through these energies and allowing these energies to move through us as well. Remember to have a lot of fun, dance, play, hang out with your kids, or if you have nieces or nephews or young cousins, children are really helpful in terms of lightening our energy, lightening the mood, and they remind us to be fully present in the moment and to be open and curious. And so, yeah, move into all of this with curiosity, and curiosity about how you can meet the moment for yourself. So for the most part, we do get a break in May and June. So enjoy that and do what you need to do. Take care of yourself. Drink lots of water. Eat healthy. Rest. Take naps. Uh, get a certain amount of sleep, whatever your body needs at night. Um, yeah, do those things. But and I'm curious too what you're working on. Let me know if you're doing special projects or what do you like to do as we kind of have this momentum in our favor for May and June. What are you putting out into the world? Um, or what's lighting your soul on fire? What's inspiring you? What's helping you navigate our historic and challenging times? And how is the astrology impacting you? How are you feeling? What's going on? I'd love to know. Sending you so much love and always remember to honor the light within you.